sandwich show in late night. Nothing but illustrious guests. Every week, the guests get bigger, and we are proud to be here tonight with former Vice President, and I heard he might be president one day, Joe Biden in the house.
The one and only, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise.
Joe, thanks for joining us.
How are you, man?
You've been fighting for a while now, but now the battle's officially on. It's you versus Trump now. Yep. Bernie dropped out. He joined in with you. What's going on? What should we prepare ourselves for? Are you ready to beat Trump?
I am. I think that, I think that this president has turned out to be one of the least attentive and most divisive presidents in American history. We're not a divided country. And you're seeing, when I announced, I said I was running because I wanted to restore the soul of America. And I really meant that. When you saw those people coming out of those fields down in Charlottesville, Virginia, carrying torches and Nazi flags and screaming and hollering and their veins bulging, and a young woman was killed who was protesting them. And the president was asked, well, what do you think, Mr. President? He said there were very fine people on both sides.
Yeah.
No president in American history has ever said anything like that. That's not who we are.
Speaking of this administration, what would you rate this administration's handling of the coronavirus pandemic?
Here's the deal. The fact is, he really is in a position where he has reacted very, very slowly. And he doesn't seem to focus on the things that really matter a great deal. For example, he should have moved much, much more quickly. Fully implement that Defense Production Act. Fancy phrase, but it means he has the power in the times of a crisis to go to an industry and say, we need more ventilators, so stop making cars, start making ventilators. We need more masks. We need more gowns. We need more protection for people. I could go on, but the fact is he's read it much too slowly, and I don't think he's focused yet. And the idea he's talking about, he has this, he's the king of the world. He can dictate what happens.
That's why.
I wish somebody read the Constitution to him.
Yeah, he clearly has not read it. He read the Cliff Notes.
That was probably one of the most unhinged press conferences I've ever seen in my lifetime. How do you see something like that? Because he's supposed to be giving information to the American public, and he's talking about ratings. He's taking shots at you. Like, how do you maintain your composure with that and focus on your campaign without feeling the need to respond to him?
Well, two things. One, I think, how can I say this?
You can curse at Showtime.
The more that he stands before the public and speaks like that, the more he hurts himself. His numbers keep dropping. I mean, it's a shame. I mean, they deserve to drop because of the way he's handling this. But the threat that he was going to get rid of Fauci, because the main guy who knows what he's talking about, he should let the scientists speak and him stop speaking about it.
Yeah, he should just be in the back doing ad-libs. Like, yeah, that's right. So today, Barack came out and officially said, I'm with Joe.
Barack came out and endorsed you. Did you have to call him and twist his ear? How did that work? Were you like, hey, come on, Barry, what's up, my guy? Come on.
Well, I tell you what.
I played soft defense on you when we played basketball. Give me a break here.
No. By the way, we have an inside joke. He's a better basketball player. I'm a better football player. But all kidding aside, one of the things that when we ran, I suggested not to endorse me, because had he endorsed me out of the gate, then it would have been looking like I was the guy that thought I was entitled to the nomination. And so we talked about it beforehand. And this is before I announced. I talked to him about whether I should announce and under what circumstances. He's my friend, and we've been friends. But I asked him not to do it because it would look like the former vice president the president putting his finger on the scale, et cetera. Because I had to earn it myself. But I knew for certain that once the field had cleared, he would not only come out and endorse me, but if we're ever able to get out and campaign on the street, he'll be walking side by side with me. He's a great friend. We became friends as well as teammates. And he was the boss. It was a great honor working for him. Every morning we met together. And once a week we met together and had lunch, just the two of us. That was the deal at the front end. And when he asked me whether I wanted anything from the relationship, I said, just that I get to be the last person in the room on every major decision to give you my advice. And the reason for that wasn't ego. It was that I never wanted to disagree with him in front of anyone else. And I wanted to be able to give him unvarnished advice, what I thought was the right thing to do. And the one thing we found out is that we both had the same feeling about how we should deal straightforwardly with the American public and deal with criticism.
All right, I got a question for you. There's some people out there who are just like, no matter what, they're not voting for you.
Yep.
How do you appeal to those people?
You know, what this virus has laid bare is the fact that your generation and those younger than you have taken a gigantic hit over the last 15 years, going all the way back to 9/11 when that occurred, the Great Recession that occurred. You got put behind the 8 ball right from the beginning. Right from the beginning, never gotten out of the hole. And there's a lot of people now that ordinarily, by the time they're 30, 35, not as successful as you guys, and you guys made it on your own, who aren't able to buy a house still because they're still paying off debts. They're in a hole. And this is now being complicated. We can't let people get further in that hole. We have to realize that this generation is taking a real kick in the teeth and being put behind the 8 ball economically. And it's even going to be made worse by this coronavirus crisis.
I am a single issue voter when it comes to Gatorade. I am straight up Glacier Blue Gatorade. Do you agree or disagree?
You're on your own, Jack.
Oh,
hey. Wow. Wow.
I love you.
Wow.
But I'm not giving up my orange Gatorade. I'll make it clear to you. The blue's not bad, but it ain't orange.
Joe, everyone that comes on our show, before they leave, we give them a neon sign. Your neon sign could say a life phrase. It could say the name of the best restaurant in Scranton. What would you like your neon sign to say?
Keep the faith. Keep the faith.
Keep the faith, y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Joe Biden.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Hope I see you again. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
I like those guys.